Hey guys, good morning. I'm Tamil Selvan Bharati. It is September 4th. It's a Monday. You know, I am doing my dog walk. It's really late. The sun is almost up there, but the weather is so nice, so it's not too hot. So hope you guys are doing good, and it's a long weekend for us here, September 4th. So I'm just having a little fun, at home. So hopefully you guys are doing good. And yesterday, we talked about the effects of stress on our body. So basically stress free, kushiya, relaxed nanbargale. So that's what we are talking about. And yesterday I also told you a joke in a Thirulur, or a Thirukural, where he says idukkan varungal nagaga. So whenever you face a very difficult situation, just laugh about it. So I said a little PTC bus joke. So stress nanbargale, see, the stress situation, when you are facing a very stressful, frightful situation, and body's reaction to it is actually normal and it's very needed. Like for instance, there is a real stressful situation. Like, you come back to your house after your work, at your office, and then you find that there is a big snake. This happened to me in my life. Of course, it also happened to Thambik and the Rajinikanth. Remember, I think Madhavi is in the shower. So he said, pambu. But in my situation, there was no Madhavi. So I was just alone. I come back to my home. My room. So it happened in Kozhikode, Kerala. So after work, I go back in the evening and there is a big pambunga in my toilet. Now my and the faucet so the water was just dripping a little bit. So on the pambu, it was drinking water out of faucet. So pambu nanu on the Thambik and the Rajini and Marika, I tried to really run out, outside. And then my room was next to a father. They were Catholic missionary hospital. So I stayed in the church. So I come out and the father and there, Enda, again the Malayali father, he comes out. Father, Achan, Endo, doctor, Enda. I then said Pambu. Pambu is common word in both Tamil and Malayalam. Then he said, oh, Chereya irikum. So I think, that particular place, they have a lot of snakes frequent. So Chera Pamba, I think it means just a garden snake, non-venomous. So Chera na irikum. So then all the other guys from the church, they all came to my room, they searched, but by the time the snake really went through some pipe or some hole, and then they said, oh, Chera irikum, Chara illa. Don't worry about it. That's what the father said. He was really handling it very like a cool cat. He was so cool. He was stress-free, but at the time, even though I'm advising you all to be stress-free, I was so stressed out. So that fight-flight response. See, when you're so frightened, what happens is your body just secretes adrenaline hormone, and then that hormone raises your blood pressure, blood sugar. So because if you need to sprint and run, sprinting, you just need to quickly run a mile away from that frightful source. So so you just need those hormones, stress hormones, adrenaline hormone, for you to get out of the situation. Adu India la nanbargale, see, we never know what we are going to find. You will find a scorpion. I was also partly in Srirangam, right? Anga the scorpion will be walking around. Number hall. And this pambu. I also remember a situation where I think the child Pawan, I think died. There was a scorpion in a child's shoe. Pawan. Amma school they made the child wear the shoe, and the child didn't even know about it. And the child said, Amma, something is biting me inside the shoe. And then the mother forced the child to go to the school, and then she dropped the child at the school, and then the scorpion had really stung her multiple times, and she was in shock, and I think she died. That happened in Trichy. I'm talking about 1984-85 time period. So my mother, I only had Hawaii cherupu. Remember guys, Hawaii, I didn't even know what Hawaii, the word Hawaii meant at the time, but now I know it's part of the United States. But Hawaii chapel, that's what I was wearing to my school. But anyway guys, it is important to be stress-free and handle it cool, whatever the situation is. So now I know better as an older man. And yesterday, remember I also said about the PTC bus joke. So thinking of PTC, you see, normal guys, when you think of PTC bus, what comes to your mind immediately? About the fact that it's so crowded, about the fact that, it carries 4 times more than, more number of passengers than what it is supposed to. And one more thing that I remember, I was seeing a US now I think modern away the world, now we all just use deodorants. Those days I didn't even know what that meant. I'm talking about 1980s. So busல வந்து remember the guys that are standing up, they are holding like this. Busல everybody. So if you are a little shorter, நான் அது student சின்ன பையன். So I'll be standing right next to with my nose in somebody else's akulla. So all kinds of smell நண்பர்களே PTC busல. So you just have to put up with all that, but still the number of people, and it is so much of fun. PTC bus. And one more thing, remember when I think of PTC bus is and the blade Pakkiri. Remember guys, blade Pakkiri. See, and the pickpocket, those guys in PTC bus, they're so freaking skillful. I don't know how they learn it. I don't know if there is any separate school for them to go learn it or what, but they somehow learn it. They come inside the bus and they are just like normal passengers. They are standing with everybody, and then they blade போறது. They learn how to put the blade. Put the blade, அதான் exact English translation. நான் blade போடுறது. And of course blade போடுறது means one more thing. Like நான் இப்போ உங்களுக்கு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன்ல, when there is a boring speech, that is also called as blade போடுறது. But the real blade போடுறது, I think it started out with blade Pakkiri working in PTC bus. So you will have your bag and அழகா they'll just put the blade underneath in your handbag at the bottom, and then they'll exactly put 2 fingers at the put it, they'll just snatch the cash away. And then when you get down from the bus and when you go home, அது ஒன்றாம் தேதி சமயத்தில் அது சம்பள நாள் அல்ல. இப்போ everybody gets money deposited in the bank account, but those days remember 80s எல்லாம் பாவம். So everybody gets their cash. என்னோட சேலரி இல்லாமல் I remember my chief would give me cash. சும்மா ஒரு சின்ன கவரில் அப்படியே மடித்து 100 ரூபாய் நோட்டு மடித்து கையில் they give you as cash. So if you just got your cash and then if it's in your bag and then blade Pakkiri works on your bag, then that's it. ஒன்றாம் தேதி அன்னைக்கு when you go home you realize that you don't have any money. So I remember the blade Pakkiri, what they do in PTC bus. It has happened to me one time where the blade Pakkiri didn't cut my blade. He pickpocket தான் ஆச்சு எனக்கு. Because in Tiruvallur busல I was trying to go to Trichy, me, my younger sister and my younger brother. So there are 3 of us, and I was the leader of the family Nana, because my father didn't come at the time. So now I think I'm like 20 years old or something, and then my younger sister siblings, they are younger than me. So I'm the leader of the pack. So I bought the tickets. I was the one who was in charge of the cash and everything. அப்புறம் அந்த திருவள்ளூர் பஸ் ஸ்டாப் வந்து அப்போது it used to be in Paris corner. So after I bought the ticket, I made my younger brother and sister go sit inside the bus, and then I got outside a samosa. Remember guys, samosa that you buy in the United States, it's got a lot of potato, but அங்கே அந்த Paris corner bus terminus இருக்கு, அங்கே samosa it will just have primarily onions. நல்லா ஆனியன் போட்டுட்டு சமோசா நல்லா மொறுன்னு அது வந்து 4 நாக்கு I think it is 3 of them they give you. So samosa வாங்கிட்டு I get back in the bus, and then one guy crosses me அந்த பஸ்ஸில். டக்குன்னு intuitively I just touch my packetல பார்த்தா there is no purse. அந்த பர்ஸில் இருந்தது அஃப்கோர்ஸ் I only had like 30-40 rupees பாக்கி பஸ் டிக்கெட்லாம் வாங்கிட்டு. அது திருச்சி வரைக்கும் போகணும்ல, அங்கே போய் இறங்கி அங்கேருந்து வீட்டுக்கு போகணும் ஸ்ரீரங்கத்தில். So then the guy just took my purse away out. Now I just held his hand quickly. I said like, sir. And then because I knew it must be him and he's pickpocketing me, and then what he cleverly did was he just dropped the purse on the floor, and then I said, sir, inge parunga sir, கீழ இருக்கு. I think they teach them all the ஒரு diploma course la how to pickpocket and how to blade Pakkiri ஆவறது அப்படின்ட்டு. அந்த கோர்ஸில் they teach you all this. If in case you get caught, what you do is you put the purse down on the floor, and then you just say like, oh, it's on the floor. And the funny thing is that guy, what, when the bus started, I looked out for him and he was not in the bus. So the guy, his intention, so many of them, they roam around like this. இப்போ கோயம்பேடு பஸ் ஸ்டாப்பில் போனீங்கன்னா அவங்கெல்லாம் they look at you from distance. அப்போயே அவங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிடும், இந்த ஆள்கிட்ட ஈஸியாக திருடலான்டா, நம்ம மூஞ்சிலே எழுதிருக்கேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அது பார்த்தா somehow they figure it out and they get inside the bus and they target you, and then they take your wallet and then they're gone. Anyway, that happened to me one time, but luckily I got the wallet back because I caught that guy and then he escaped. Anyway guys, that's all I have to talk about today. Hopefully you had some fun time listening to this. Or நான் blade Pakkiri மாதிரி ஆகிட்டேன்னா அதையும் சொல்லிடுங்க நீங்கள் காமெண்ட்டில். I'll talk to you again. And stress ஃப்ரீயாக இருங்க நண்பர்களே. Just be happy, okay, and spread love. That's all we can do in this earth. Okay, talk to you later. Goodbye, signing off.